Aloha, welcome to my walkthrough. This is TP King's Happy Fun Time Memory Game Bonanza. If you couldn't tell, I have an affinity for like old school arcade games. So I use the fonts, the dynamic fonts that kind of reflect that, and this whimsical font here. Um, and I've been having toilet paper on my mind like since the pandemic started because I haven't been to Costco since, and so I have to find toilet paper on the shelf, like at the grocery stores that were open, or and it was very hard. And I had like 8 rolls left when this thing started. Eight physical rolls of toilet paper left, and I was just like, if I don't find some toilet paper, I don't know. So yes, toilet paper. I was considering doing it for my last game, but so I had to bring it into this. TP King is inspired by Tiger King, which is a show I have not watched on Netflix. Monstrously popular. My friend keeps talking about it and telling me I have to watch it. I don't know. I haven't had the time. I'm too busy to watch TV. But so the instructions are pretty simple. Numbers are going to appear on top of the screen for a few seconds. They're going to disappear, and then you need to memorize and be able to type the numbers you see into the fields below. You use tab to jump between fields and to the submit button. You hit enter on the submit button to submit answers before the timer runs out. Earn valuable toilet paper from the TP King. So without further ado, we're in level 1. You get 25 points per correct field. If I get one wrong, it makes a sound. I'm in level 2 now because I made it through 3 rounds of level 1, and I can set that. I didn't make it settable for the player, but I could change it if I wanted to. I have 7 seconds right now before the timer will fade away the numbers and I won't be able to see them.
Amazing.
Oh god. I can't die, I'm doing this demo. I kind of have it on an easy level, but I'm kind of good with key punch. Even though I have a Mac, I have a PC keyboard. It's blasphemous, I know. But I do, and so I can do this easily. I can see someone with a Mac with no number pad being like, you suck, this game is stupid, I'll never play it. That's your choice. So I got 1 life off because I didn't answer all of those. Oh my gosh. Oh no! Okay. So in this scenario, I'm gonna leave them all blank because, and not submit, because you only lose 1 life if you don't even try. I did that because I thought the game would be over too fast if they didn't quick submit fast enough. They'd lose 3 lives. Yet, if they're cocky enough to try to submit, then they need to commit. That's how I felt. And I'm not a master programmer. I did this in like, what, 3 weeks? Come on, guys. So, I don't know if you can tell, but round 2, the numbers are disappearing significantly faster. I gave it 3.5 seconds. Oh god. So, oh my god. In this case, I'm better off just letting it go. And just losing 1 life. Rather than losing like 7. Oh my god. Anyway. So I'm gonna let it go again. So you could kind of draw out the game this way, but I didn't build in earning lives, which would have been the next thing I would do. Like every 1,000 rolls of toilet paper that you earn, you get something else, I don't know. Okay, I died. Once you get to less than 0 lives, you die. That's the only way you die. You don't die by losing points. But congratulations, you've scored 1,450 rolls of TP from the TP King. Your hoarding days are over. And here are my I found some really cool songs on freesound.org for levels 1 and 2, and Outcasts, Bombs Over Baghdad, B.O.B. from their album Stank On Ya. Okay. And if you want to play again, no one's stopping you. Hey, so I wanted to show you guys, I have a bug I discovered between the last recording and this one. If I get absolutely 0 rolls of toilet paper and I try to play again, it's loading, it is generating random numbers, but it's not updating my display. And it's too late to figure that out now, but that is a bug, and it only happens in that instance. Like if I get like just one of them right, everything's fine. So 25 rolls, 1 right. Now it's fine. So I don't know, maybe Dr. Dang can tell me what that is. But yes, this was called Blank Canvas. I toiled with it in the beginning. I just didn't know what to do. I'm so happy I came up with an idea. I was interested in TP King doing a version with of the dinosaur game where TP King would jump over hoarders with outstretched hands, but that involved like collision detection and kinematic body and stuff I couldn't do. So anyway, my global variables, I'm getting much better at writing functions to handle things instead of just hard coding, which I did from in the beginning. When I look at my other stuff, I'm like, wow. I do like I generate an array of random numbers. I use randi, and I store them based on the level. It'll generate either 3, 5, or 7 for me into an array, which then gets projected into the numbers. It gets displayed. I'm trying to find that code. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I clear the array first because, you know, sometimes they're coming from level 3 to level 1. They're looping through, cycling through again. What else? Upon submit, it does validation to make sure that the randomly generated and displayed number that you see matches the input from the user. They get points if they're right. They get dinged if they're wrong. A lot of that kind of stuff you guys know how to do, so I won't talk too much about it. I did it for each level. What else can I tell you? This managed sublevel was kind of a doozy, and I feel like something is wrong in my managed sublevel 1, which is why I have that bug, but I don't know where it is. I'm not sure. There's something about it that is not quite right. But this just is because I wanted them to be able to do like 3 rounds per level before they advance. I test to see if they're alive. Like, did they lose all their lives? Because each wrong blank gives a wrong, takes away life, right? So if it's wrong, they finish the game. They go to the game over scene. Otherwise, if they're still within like round 1, 2, or 3, it pretty much keeps them in the same level and does all the stuff that I had it doing up there. And it has to refocus, grab the focus again to field 1. Otherwise, if they lived and made it through, they go to the next level. For TP King, what's neat is he's like just one little sprite. And I have a variable for number of TP Kings that I can set. And so I add whatever number of TP Kings I want to the scene. Where is it? Add TP King. So for I in number of TP Kings, which I made 20, it's loading 20 instances of him. It's generating 20 different X and Y coordinates and secondary X and Y coordinates, and then it's tweeting all of them. I was proud of that because Dr. Dan, I watched his tutorial about moving the blue orb linearly from a known X to another X. And then I was like, that's not quite enough for me. My TP Kings were just going like that. And then they would stop. And I was like, oh, I don't quite know. And then I saw another tutorial by Emilio on Patreon, and he was moving a player around. And then I got the idea to grab the Y and just start tweening and bouncing and making him look like he's dancing. That's probably the accomplishment of this game for me, like, because I didn't have to get help on it directly. I did watch tutorials, but I figured it out. I was happy, and I got the effect I wanted. I sound like I'm bragging. I think I really suck at programming. Let's make that clear. But I really liked it. I hated it as an undergrad. I was like for a brief moment in time, I was an ICS major and I hated programming, and my assignments were so dull and horrible and unengaging. Um, that I didn't want to stay in the major because programmers, you gotta love it or you're gonna burn out, right? They talk about that. So I never went off into programming, but this is the first time I actually enjoyed it, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I have weird print statements I've left in here, just to show my logic on some things. I wish I could have, if I had more time, I would have improved this by maybe, I would have definitely wanted to add lives. For every 1,000 rolls of toilet paper, you should get an extra life. Um, I would like to add like a cutscene or a video Easter egg kind of thing from the game somewhere. I wanted to do scrolling text and I found a tutorial, but I ran out of time. But so all these things are things I thought of that I just couldn't fit in. Um, but yeah, I used arrays and I used for statements. I manipulated things. I tried to go through that whole rubric and do everything on it. So I was really thankful for the rubric actually. I think that helps me because it helps me think like, what else can I do? What else can I do? What am I missing? I loved working with Piskel app and creating my TP King and Ms. TP King. Like I really enjoyed this. I like 8-bit art a lot, kind of for the restriction that's there. I find that kind of cool. So I appreciated that, and I think like I'll probably I want to say I'll play more. I like the animations and stuff. And there was a lot I wished I could do, like scrolling text and all that would have been kind of neat. Maybe not necessary, but I don't know. So I think I'd like to think I'll continue with it, and I don't know, maybe even use it for art, some weird art. But yeah, uh, games. I learned a lot from watching you guys and your walkthroughs and reading your reflections as well. So thank you for that, and thanks to Dr. Dan. I liked that I could go back to the videos because they were chunked, and I could just like look up what I was trying to figure out, like tweens, and search on my big giant massive notes file and find the tween video. Um, Thank you for the excellent resources, Dr. Hoffman or Dr. Dan, and all the help. And I definitely could not have gotten this far without help from Dr. Dan. So thank you, and thanks to the rest of you for being inspiring with the projects you guys do. And yeah, I hope I hit all the points for the reflection. Good night. Mahalo. Have a great